Thinking about selling your HMO? Just hold your horses, because before you even get it on the market, there's 5 costly mistakes that could tank your sale and leave you with lower offers, or worse still, no offers at all. Now, I see sellers make these mistakes all the time, and in this video, I'm going to break them down and show you exactly how to avoid them. So let's dive in. The first and probably most common mistake HMO landlords make when trying to sell is overpricing their property. Now, I get it. You've invested time and money and most likely stress and sleepless nights into the property, and you want to get the best deal possible. But here's the problem. HMOs are a numbers game. Investors don't buy with emotion like first-time home buyers. They run the numbers, and if the price doesn't stack up against the rental yield and return on investment, they'll just walk away, especially in a market like today with increasing number of sellers competing for a limited pool of buyers. So here's what to do. Research recent sales of similar HMOs in the area, not just asking prices. Look for the original listing online to see if the rental figures were provided. If not, contact the selling agent to ask for details. This will give you a clear benchmark of the yield at which HMOs are actually selling, helping you understand where investors are actively putting their money in today's market. Work with an agent who understands HMO valuations and investment metrics like gross yield, net operating income, and cash flow. It's a niche area of sales, so do not skimp on this. Consider strategic pricing based on the competition. By this, I mean pricing under market value to spark competition and attract multiple offers, so buyers are competing for your business and not vice versa. By doing this, you can negotiate from a position of strength. This one kills deals before they even get started. If your agent doesn't specialize in HMOs, they won't know how to properly market the property, which means it's not getting in front of the most qualified investor buyers. HMOs aren't sold the same way as family homes or standard buy-to-lets. Investors are looking for specific details about occupancy rates, contract information, licensing, and health and safety and tenancy compliance. They do not want to be inheriting a long list of problems in today's litigious environment. So here's how to avoid that. Choose an agent who actively sells and manages HMOs, not just standard buy-to-lets. Ensure they have an up-to-date database of investors actively looking for HMOs. Speak with a few agents, interview them, and ask them about what they know about things like Article 4 directive, HMO licensing, and rental demand in your area. Based on this, you'll soon find out they're competent, they'd be speaking to, and most importantly, negotiating with buyers on your behalf. If you don't have the right paperwork ready for an HMO sale, expect delays or worse, buyers pulling out. HMO sales involve a lot of extra compliance checks, especially if the buyers are purchasing through a limited company, and investors will want to see historic proof of income, compliant tenancy agreements, and safety certifications, to name just a few things. So here's what to do. Get your tenancy agreements, rent schedules, and property accounts ready before listing on the market. Ensure your HMO is fully compliant with fire safety, HMO licensing, and local regulations, which may include Article 4 compliance. Have an HMO management pack prepared with key details investors will ask for. This is a silent deal killer, especially if the buyer is looking for immediate income. Selling an HMO with empty rooms is like selling a shop with no customers. Most investors want cash flow from day one, and if your property isn't fully occupied, it raises red flags about demand and possible management issues. Now, of course, there are investor developers out there who will want to get in and refurbish the property to add value. Now, they aren't too bothered about the property being rented, but of course their offer is going to be much lower than a high income producing HMO would receive. So here's how to avoid that. Now, it sounds obvious, but keep your rooms filled, even if it means adjusting rent slightly to attract tenants before selling. Your goal here is to retain tenants if the rental market is competitive out there. Try and get tenants on new fixed term and off rolling contracts for now, although this will obviously change once the renters' rights bill comes in. If you must sell with vacancies, think about offering a rental guarantee or show a waiting list of tenants ready to occupy. You want to work with an agent who can showcase the true potential of the property. Again, this comes down to market knowledge, so I revert back to point 2 above. Now, this one's tricky. If your tenants aren't happy about the sale, they can and will make things difficult. They could refuse viewings, they could refuse sales viewings, badmouth the property on a viewing, or even leave unexpectedly. So you definitely want to try and normalize tenant relationships as best as you can before listing on the market. Now, here is how to avoid that. Be transparent with your tenants. Let them know your plans early so they don't feel that you're springing this change on them. At the end of the day, this is their home, so communication is key here. Offer an incentive for cooperation, including gestures like a house meal credit or voucher to show your appreciation for their cooperation throughout the sales process, because they will most likely need to consent for additional visits once the property goes under offer for things like surveys or valuations. You want to try and limit viewings throughout the week to a few set times so they can ensure that the house presents well and they don't feel that their privacy has been invaded. And if you're selling to another investor, position it as a smooth transition for tenants. Alright, so now you know the top 5 mistakes mistakes to avoid when selling an HMO. So whether you're looking to sell soon or just want to maximize your property's value, following these steps will put you ahead of most of the competition. Now, if you're thinking about selling your HMO in Leeds, feel free to reach out for a free valuation or selling strategy consultation. You can do this by clicking on the link in the description below. To successfully sell your HMO for the most amount of money, you need an expert agent who understands HMOs inside and out. So let's talk, because at Central Properties we specialize in helping landlords like you get top dollar for their investment properties.